made you want to tell this story now?
I was approached by American Masters, and they said they wanted to do a story about my life. I said, okay. You have that much interest? Okay, fine. I'm game. I'm up for it. But then I thought to myself, it needs to be done right. And because a lot of times those biographical treatments aren't necessarily done in the right way. And I cared enough to really make sure that I had the right people on board to tell the story the way I would want it to be told. So I made sure that they hired Shoshannah Stern. I picked the director, and I'm so glad that I did, because in all honesty, I didn't know what she was going to do with this, but yet I knew she was going to be able to do what she did. And I thank her every single day.
I loved how you did the film in American Sign Language. What was the choice to make sure it was told through that lens?
Well, if you do a voiceover, for example, the way that they have done us or treated deaf people traditionally, I think it would be always about through that hearing perspective. And we didn't want to do it that way. We wanted to do it authentically from a deaf person. So what you see in the film is all through a deaf lens. It's authentic, and with captions and watching us sign with each other, then you get a look into our world.
And my last question is, I loved how this film had people that you know, professional and friends, talk about, as your interview subject, instead of more talking people experts. What was the choice to have more personal people talk about your experiences with you?
I actually didn't choose the people who was going to talk to in the film. Shoshannah was the one who knew the right people to talk to, who understood me and worked with me, and who have seen me and what have I experienced in life. There were others certainly that I mentioned that for interviews. Some chose not to participate, which I guess is understandable. But those in the film were perfect. I think it's a good balance of friends and associates, people I've worked with. Aaron Sorkin, for example, Henry Winkler, who's been my mentor. I couldn't have been more perfect.
What's it about this story that made you want to come on board to direct?
Because Marlee Matlin made sure that it happened, that I was on board. I really didn't know that it was her choice to choose me. There were emails that had said, hey, Shoshannah, let's meet with American Masters about a directing job. And I thought, okay, all right. And I had a vision for the film, but I was unsure. I can't say yes, I didn't think. I wanted to make sure that it was okay with Marlee first, because this is the first time that I've ever directed, and I don't have any documentary experience. And they were like, it was Marlee's idea. I was like, wow, that's mind-blowing. The trust that she had in me, I didn't take it lightly by any means. I really made sure that I felt the weight of her trust with every second of the film. Everything that has to do, every choice in the film is very intentional.
I love the fact that you made the film with the American Sign Language as the main language of the film. What was the choice that went into that?
I don't think I had a choice. I think the film decided. The film has a mind of her own, just like Marlee does, just like I do. I think there were so many documentaries that I've seen. I enjoy watching documentaries, but I didn't realize until I was preparing for this job that, the form of documentary as we know it is made by hearing people for hearing people. And so if I'm making a film about a deaf woman and I am the one asking the questions as a deaf woman, how? How are we going to do this? You can't separate my voice from my body. My body is my voice. Hers is as well. But when I started to think about the title, Not Alone Anymore, I thought that is weaving into the making of the film. I'm on a couch with Marlee, and I'm interacting with her. I'm having a conversation with her. She's not alone in front of the camera where I'm standing somewhere else. And the audience is experiencing the world the way that she does in the film. And she's not alone in that experience either.
Our last question, I love who you chose to interview subjects, people that really know Marlee, instead of maybe more experts talking about it. What was the choice to get so personal with your interview subjects?
That's the first time that anyone has ever asked me this question. I love that. Really, I feel like deaf people are cultural experts. And so every deaf person that we interviewed in the film, I mean, they are a cultural expert. They understand the experience of being a deaf person more than anyone else with a degree. Some of them, I mean, there are some deaf people out there that have doctorate degrees, but to be able to deliver their own experience, share their own lives, I mean, I think it's more hard-hitting than having someone talk at you rather than someone talking with you.
Thank you so much for joining us.